This is a badge associated with limousines and luxury, but with this car, the three-pointed star is getting stretched big time.
Meet the X-Class, the first ute from a luxury car maker, and a car that Benz believes can reshape the ute market.
So the big question, does it live up to the luxury hype? And can the X do all those workhorsey, ute-y things that the big boys of the pickup market do so well?
That's my mission today. I'm in Chile in South America, and we're going to put this thing through its paces. But first things first, yes, it has a Mercedes-Benz on its nose, but under the skin, this thing is more Japanese than German. You see, it's actually based on a Nissan Navara. All the basic underpinnings and so on start life as a Nissan. It even comes out of a Nissan factory. Not that you'd know it from the outside or even the inside. Designers have done a fantastic job of making this look, feel and smell like a Merc. Now, the deeper you dig or the closer you get to things, the more you start to realise that it's more about the look than the actual attention to detail and the full-on luxury. Things like these plastics, they're just a bit hard and a bit un-Merc-like in some ways. And there's a few chinks in that German armour. When you look at things like the key, check that. It's a Nissan key. And it's a similar story underneath. Yes, there's a lot of Nissan there, but Merc has done a lot of its own tweaking, starting with the basic body. The whole thing's 70 millimeters wider, which not only gives it more visual muscle, but it also places those wheels further out into the corners, so theoretically, more stability. Under the bonnet is Nissan's 2.3 litre twin-turbo 4-cylinder diesel, mated to a 7-speed automatic. Power peaks at 140 kilowatts, and there's 450 newton metres of torque. As for the engine, well, Merc's made a big deal of the V6 engine that is coming in this car, but this one, for now, it's a 4-cylinder turbo, in this case a twin-turbo, 2.3 litre engine, a very familiar engine, again, to anyone who's driven a Nissan Navara. You're looking at 140 kilowatts of power, so it goes pretty well, but no better than a Nissan. One thing that has stepped up is the refinement. It's pretty clear Merc's put a lot of effort into making sure this car lives up to that luxury promise in terms of quietness. So when you accelerate, you can hear the engine. It's not a particularly sexy sound, but it's a bit more muted than what you might expect in cars like this. It's clear Merc has put a heap of effort into the way this thing drives. It's not an S-Class, it's no limousine, but it's certainly towards the pointy end of the ute class in terms of its basic on-road manners. One of the most impressive things is how quickly and how well it recovers from bumps. They've obviously done a lot of work with things like shock absorbers to just tie it down a bit better than a lot of the utes out there. But of course, one of the big reasons people buy utes is to put things in the back. Merc says you can have up to 1.1 tonnes in the tray, so it's a lot of weight, and the big question is how this car is going to go with that much weight. Now, of course, the X-Class is an off-roader, a proper four-wheel drive, so let's give it a test. The cars we're in here are pretty much Australian spec, right-hand drive, a little bit more ground clearance, so you're looking at 222 mils of clearance, which is plenty, and you've got decent protection underneath. The bones of the car, the basics of the off-road system are very strong. It's got a part-time four-wheel drive system, so select 4 high, or if you want 4 low to give you a bit more control, and there's loads of traction. You've also got electronics to help you out, things like downhill slip control, so take your foot off everything and it'll look after the braking for you. There's no doubt it's an extremely competent off-roader, which for most owners will be more peace of mind that if they want to tackle something like this, they can. But it's difficult to imagine most X-Classes tackling terrain like this. There's no doubt the X-Class is a big step up over the Nissan it's based on, but it doesn't set any new benchmarks. It ticks a lot of boxes, is great to drive, has fantastic safety features and looks the business, but it's no load-lugging limousine. Time will tell whether that's enough to charge a Mercedes premium.